It's hard to imagine now, but Rafael Nadal's reign over the clay of Roland Garros didn't start with cheers and applause. In fact, it began with boos. The year was 2005. Nadal, just 18 years old, had already carved out a name for himself on the tennis circuit. By then, he had won ATP titles, beaten Roger Federer, and racked up an impressive 17-match winning streak. But for the French crowd, he was still an outsider, a fiery, emotional player who seemed to threaten their hopes of a homegrown champion. And worse, he was a danger to Federer, their beloved icon. When Nadal stepped onto Philippe Chatrier Court for the first time, the atmosphere was tense. The French fans were not on his side. In his third-round match, he faced Frenchman Richard Gasquet, a local favourite, and when Nadal swiftly dispatched him in 3 sets, the boos began. It wasn't personal, it was passion for their own. But for a young player trying to make his mark, the hostility could have been overwhelming. Yet, instead of shrinking under the pressure, Nadal used it to fuel his fire. He played with the intensity and resilience that would soon define him. Match by match, he fought his way through the tournament. His style was unmistakable. Powerful forehands, relentless speed, and a will to win that made it clear he wasn't just passing through Paris, he was building something legendary. Buck away. And what followed was nothing short of historic. Over the next decade, Nadal would return to Philippe Chatrier Court again and again. Brick by brick, match by match, he built a legacy that seems almost too incredible to believe. 14 Roland Garros titles. Even the numbers feel unreal, as though they belong to a myth rather than a man. But Nadal's dominance on the red clay is no myth. It's one of the greatest achievements in the history of sport. French tennis veteran Nicolas Mahut once said, "When you play Roland Garros 14 times, you've had a great career. When you win 14 matches here, it's remarkable. But when you win the title 14 times, there are no words." And so Paris, once a city that jeered, now reveres Nadal as their king. In 2021, the French Open organisers honoured him in a way they've honoured no other. They erected a shimmering, larger-than-life statue of him at the entrance of Roland Garros, a permanent reminder that while Nadal is Spanish, he will always belong to Paris. The bond between Rafael Nadal and Philippe Chatrier Court is unbreakable. His reign here, filled with flexed biceps, forehand winners, and a determination unmatched by anyone in the game, is something that will live on forever. As long as there is a Roland Garros, there will be the legacy of Rafael Nadal, the king of clay,